It began online, a wave of fans, some loyal for years, others newer to Ghost's haunting spectacles, started complaining. The band's shows, they said, had become too scripted, too perfect, too polished. One comment read, "Every night feels the same now, where's the danger?" Tobias Forge saw it all. He knew Ghost had grown from underground mystery to arena powerhouse, but with fame came expectation and criticism. When a fan demanded, "You want us to reconfigure the whole thing every night?" Tobias finally decided to answer. Tobias Forge was used to mystery. As the creative engine of Ghost, he hid behind personas Papa Emeritus, Cardinal Copia, while weaving dark theater and heavy riffs together. But when critics started calling the shows robotic, Tobias felt personally attacked. He wasn't just performing, he was crafting a ritual. "People forget," he once said, "this is not a jam band, it's theater." Ghost wasn't meant to be spontaneous chaos. It was a world carefully built night after night. Ghost's fanbase has always been passionate, but recently the internet turned into a battlefield. Reddit threads, YouTube comments, TikToks, everyone had an opinion. Some fans wanted old-school unpredictability. Others defended the grandeur. Tobias read one post that hurt more than he expected. "Ghost used to feel alive, now it feels rehearsed." He knew fans loved the mystery, but he wondered, had the band's perfection become their curse? The truth is, Ghost live shows are a massive operation. Dozens of crew members, synchronized lighting, intricate stage sets, and costume changes all timed to the second. Tobias couldn't just change it every night. "This isn't punk rock in a bar anymore," he said. "It's an experience that takes weeks of planning. Each performance is like a movie and you can't rewrite the script mid-scene." Still, he admired fans who wanted spontaneity. "They care," Tobias admitted, "and that's beautiful." When Ghost exploded into global fame, Tobias realized something strange. Success brought less freedom. "You can't experiment when people expect perfection," he said. Each show had to meet visual, musical, and emotional standards. One technical mistake could cost thousands, yet Tobias felt torn. He wanted fans to feel something real. "Maybe that's the hardest part," he mused, "making magic in a controlled environment." In a recent interview, Tobias finally addressed the criticism. He didn't lash out, he didn't mock. Instead, he asked, "You want us to reconfigure the whole thing every night?" His tone was calm, even humorous, but there was truth behind it. He explained how each show's structure was built to tell a story, not just entertain. "Theatrics don't mean fake," he said, "it means purpose." Fans began to see maybe Ghost's discipline was their magic. To Tobias, Ghost isn't a band, it's theater disguised as metal. Every costume, lighting, cue, and note carries a role. It's like a rock opera stitched with satire and darkness. "When I go on stage," Tobias said, "I'm a character, but the emotion is real. What fans mistake for repetition is actually ritual. Ghost concerts are not random, they're ceremonies." Tobias wants each audience to feel they've witnessed something sacred, not improvised. In 2010, Ghost started as a secretive cult act. Small venues, mysterious masks, eerie fog. Fans didn't even know Tobias was the mastermind. Back then, chaos worked, no one expected perfection. But as arenas replaced clubs, Tobias had to evolve. "You can't just plug in and hope for the best when you're in front of 20,000 people," he laughed. The stakes were higher, but so were the dreams. That transformation from chaos to craft defined Ghost's rise. Even after his explanation, not everyone was convinced. Music journalists wrote headlines like "Ghost too polished for their own good." Tobias wasn't surprised. "That's the price of clarity," he said. "When you stop being mysterious, people start dissecting." He understood that Ghost's appeal came from balance, mystery and meaning, danger and design. But sometimes people only saw the surface. "We're not just about masks," Tobias sighed. "We're about what lies beneath them." Few know how much Tobias invests in every detail, the music, the costumes, even the storyline of each era. "Every mask tells a story," he said. "Every song has a reason." For him, Ghost's evolution isn't about control, it's about consistency. Yet fans' words still lingered. He started thinking about ways to surprise them again, maybe new set lists, new visuals, or unexpected covers. Because even artists crave unpredictability sometimes. Tobias believes every artist must walk a tightrope between vision and fan demand. "If I give them everything they ask for," he said, "I lose myself. If I give them nothing, I lose them." It's a constant balancing act, art versus expectation. The recent criticism reminded him of one thing: Ghost fans care deeply. "They argue because they love us," he smiled. "And that's better than silence." Ghost has always used irony and satire to make a point. Songs like Year Zero and Rats mock power, religion, and fame. Tobias saw the criticism as part of that same conversation. "We make people uncomfortable, that's the point," he said. "Even when fans complain, it means they're engaged." Ghost's story, like its music, is never black and white. It's about contrast, beauty, and absurdity living together. Through the storm, many fans defended Tobias. They posted comments like, "Every Ghost show feels like church," or "You don't fix perfection." Tobias read those words quietly. They reminded him why he kept going. "For every critic," he said, "there's someone who understands." Those loyal fans became his fuel, proof that his strange, theatrical vision still connected hearts around the world. After months of reflection, Tobias reached a calm understanding. "You can't please everyone," he said, "but you can stay true." The criticism didn't break him, it clarified his purpose. He decided to keep refining Ghost's live experience, but not at the cost of its soul. "If our shows feel too perfect," he said, "maybe that's because imperfection is already built in. It's me, it's us." When the lights go down and the first notes of Kaisarian roar through the crowd, Tobias smiles behind the mask. He knows what people say online, but in that moment, when tens of thousands sing together, none of it matters. The theater, the ritual, the energy, it's all real. Every night, he whispered once, we raise the dead, and maybe that's enough. Tobias once said, perfection can be a prison. As ghost shows grew grander, every light cue, drum hit, and costume change became timed to perfection. Fans loved it at first, the precision, the visuals, the power, but soon that perfection turned into expectation. Tobias started to feel trapped in his own success. You can't mess up anymore, he told a friend, because they'll notice. What once felt like freedom now felt like a tight schedule of rehearsed emotions. Yet deep down he knew that's the price of building a spectacle that never fails. People often forget that Tobias isn't just a singer. He's the architect of ghost writing, producing, designing, directing. That control keeps the machine moving, but it also comes with a cost. Every time he steps off stage, he reviews the footage, the sound, the crowd's reaction. I'm my own worst critic, he admitted. When fans accuse the show of being too clean, Tobias wonders if they realize how much chaos lies behind that precision, the missed cues, the broken strings, the pressure of thousands watching. It's control built on exhaustion. During one European tour, Tobias fell sick but refused to cancel. His voice cracked mid-song, and for a brief second he broke character. The crowd went silent, then erupted in applause. That imperfect moment became one of the most emotional in Ghost's history. Fans later said it was the realest they'd ever seen him. Tobias never forgot that. Maybe, he thought, a little imperfection isn't the enemy. It was a moment when the mask slipped and the man beneath it connected with the world. Every Ghost concert follows a ritual, from the eerie opening music to the final blessing. Tobias sees the performance as a ceremony, not just entertainment. We give people something they can't get anywhere else, he said. That's why he defends the structure of the show so strongly. The rituals are meant to create unity, a spiritual moment disguised as heavy metal. For Tobias, each night is sacred, even if it looks the same from the outside. The repetition, he believes, gives the illusion of eternity. When critics write about Ghost, they often focus on the masks, the makeup, the show. Tobias sometimes laughs at that. They think it's all theater, he said, but they miss the music. Beneath the spectacle are melodies inspired by ABBA, riffs drawn from Metallica, and lyrics layered with meaning. You can't just see the visuals and assume it's empty, he said. Ghost's art lives in that contradiction, catchy, dark, and strange all at once. Tobias built it that way intentionally to challenge what rock can be. For Tobias, stagnation is the enemy. Each Ghost era, from Opus Eponymous to Impera, has changed sound, style, and story. Yet he fears one thing more than bad reviews: becoming predictable. If we repeat ourselves, Ghost dies, he said. That's why he pushes for reinvention, new songs, new costumes, new personas. The criticism about repetition only fueled that drive. He doesn't want Ghost to just survive, he wants it to evolve, even if it means losing some fans along the way. Behind every Ghost show is an army: lighting techs, costume designers, sound engineers. They know the challenges Tobias faces better than anyone. One crew member said, people think we just push play, they have no idea. The logistics are massive, each prop must work perfectly, every movement is timed. When fans say change it every night, the crew laughs, not out of disrespect, but because it's impossible. It's not arrogance, they say, it's survival. Without structure, the magic would collapse. While some criticized Ghost, others rose to defend them passionately. Fans flooded forums saying things like, every show feels like a new sermon, or that's not repetition, that's devotion. Tobias saw these posts and felt gratitude. He knew these were the fans who understood his vision, the ones who came not for surprise but for transcendence. When we walk on stage, he said, they already know what to expect, and that's why they feel safe to believe. In a world of chaos, Ghost offers controlled mystery. Tobias sometimes wonders how Ghost will be remembered. As a rock band, a theater troupe, a religious satire, maybe all three. I don't care how they define it, he said, as long as they feel something. The criticism will fade, but the music Cirrus he is, Dance Macabre, will remain. Every era adds a new layer to the legend. And even if people argue about the shows being repetitive, Tobias knows history will remember Ghost as something rare, a band that turned performance into philosophy. Months after the controversy cooled, Tobias stood backstage in full costume, hearing the crowd chant his name. He smiled, remembering that viral quote, "You want us to reconfigure the whole thing every night." Maybe he didn't need to, the show didn't have to change, the meaning did. Every audience, every city, every face brought something new. The ritual is the same, he whispered, but the souls are different. And as the lights dimmed and the music began, Tobias Forge did what he always did best, turn criticism into creation.